as natural, as another group of units is getting ready here for Stefano, and he's actually moving all of his spine crawlers up to be really aggressive here.
Yeah, you know, Tails lost those 2 Immortals that he had poked out a little too far, and those were his lifeblood, man. He needs those Immortals to deal with these Ultralisks. Only 3 Ultralisks out now from Stefano. You know, he's realizing the composition of Tails. He's going Immortals to counter with these Ultralisks, but 2 Archons out right now, and the upgrades of Tails have really begun to catch up with Stefano. Now has +3 attack, +1 armor, but these Ultralisks with 5-3, these Lings 3-3 with, I believe, adrenal glands. Tails, that being Tails, is in a really, really rough spot. I mean, he has no 4th base, and eventually Stefano can just keep him trapped in here. He can't really push because of the buildings there to really funnel his units, but he can contain Tails, like, all day.
Yeah, he really can. I think he's going to do exactly what you've been saying. He's going to go ahead and try and force Tails to be starved out. But look at this, another engagement going down. Some Infested Terran, Narrow Parasites going down on almost everything. He's got so much energy. The Ultralisk doing lots of damage. Tails, GG. Stefano is now up 2-1 over his opponent.
Yeah, you know, we saw that game end so rapidly and so decisively because of Tails not having scouting info that he needed. He needed to see those Ultralisks. And he kind of just went Colossi because Colossi are pretty much good against everything that Zerg makes, except Ultras. They're terrible against Ultras. If your opponent goes Ultras, you're going to pay for it. So there we saw Stefano capitalize upon the fact that pretty much every game we've seen Tails go Colossi. And, you know, I've seen him use Stargate units, for instance, in the Playhem tournaments, and I'm surprised that we haven't seen it out of him at all yet. Obviously, that game, Void Race, would have been fantastic against the composition of Stefano.
Yeah, it really would have. Someone just tweeted me saying, I'm grabbing some garlic parmesan wings. You jelly? Yes, I am jelly. I just wanted to let you guys know that. Oh my god, they're so good.
Yeah, guys, make sure you do follow Robin on Twitter. Give him a lot of love and support. He's going up to MLG, man. He'll be up at MLG Providence in 2 weeks. And, you know, Robin, I saw the polls, man. I saw the polls on the MLG Facebook on which caster they like most. You were like 80% favored.
I don't know how.
Fantastic casting, man.
I got lucky, I think. I think it's because I did White Rust Stefano. But we're not going to talk about me too much because we're an amazing game. Make sure to follow Kibbles and Playhem as well on Twitter. But yeah, it looks like we will be going into game number 4. Make sure everyone is ready. Hopefully everyone out here in the chat is having fun. Let us know if you are having fun. Say, yes, I am excited. I am having fun. I'm enjoying this show match. Let Playhem know that you want to constantly keep seeing these show matches every Sunday. Jeez, I'm ready for this, making sure that everyone's ready to go. Tails, are you ready? Question mark? Question mark? Is he ready? He is ready. Starting game. Are you ready, Kibbles? I forgot to ask you before I started it.
I'm ready, my friend. Let me take another sip of this delicious, bitter coffee.
Mmm.
Don't me, you hate coffee.
StarCraft 2.
Every time I make a comment in coffee in the Playhem caster chat on Skype, Robin always chimes in. He's like, black coffee. He'll, like, come back, like, 2 hours because he was AFK. He'll come back, or, like, the next morning, he'll, like, copy and paste my quote from, like, you know, 7:57 p.m. It will say, Kibbles said, oh, I love coffee. And he'll be like, he'll quote me and then be like, I don't know how you drink that crap.
I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of coffee. It's an acquired taste. I'm more of the energy drink side. Those are pretty good. They have flavor to them and sugar. I like sugar, especially in my pie. But another player that is quite the sugar cutie, his name is Stefano in the top right corner. He is the pink Zerg. He is called the Pink Power Ranger Go-Go, he says, all the time. And in the bottom left corner, we have coLMVPTAiLS. People are asking in the chat, Kyle TW, what is the score? The score is 2-1. You should see on the scoreboard that I have up here. I'm going to go ahead and circle it.
Colors on that scoreboard, man.
I got to put colors in it.
That's a black and white scoreboard.
I'm learning this thing. I will put pink on there.
So bad.
Okay, what color is he? He is orange. Jeez, everyone just hates me so much. There we go. We're gonna have something new every game, and we're gonna be pro scoreboard people by the end of the game. Okay, guys? Okay? We're gonna be pro peoples. PPs. We do have a forge going down at the natural, so a nice fast expand again from Tails, and it's really good on this map. You only have to get this little choke covered up. It's pretty much the go-to for all Protoss players on this map, especially Blink Stalkers. They're good as well. Interested to see what Stefano goes for, and look at that, just going for that safe play once again. 15 pulling.
All right, so this forward fast expand out of Tails, going to play it very safe, even going to get the cannon. Let's make sure he doesn't have to worry, fret. about any fast pull out of Stefano. You know, we have seen Stefano open with these pull openings pretty much every time. And now going into the expansion. I love it, I love it, I love it. Checking for any hidden probe. Sees there is none. His timings are immaculate, Robin.
Immaculate. That's a good word, man. That's how good they
are. Look, he timed that drone to go down to that expansion, run around in a circle, and then he had 300 minerals to drop it. Like, he didn't get down there, have 300 minerals, ran around in a circle, and drop the hatchery at 350 minerals. No, he was down there at like 220, ran around in a circle, scouted every position, and immediately after he finished scouting the full circle, had 300 minerals and dropped the hat. Stefano with his timings, it's just so perfect, man.
Beautiful, and you have to be at this high level of play. And we have Tails throwing down his Nexus right away, not even getting that gateway first, thinks that he'll be safe. And he's, again, just getting a feel for your opponent around game 3 or 4. You start to feel what they usually go for as an opening, what they tend to do, and knowing, hey, he usually throws down a pool and follows up with a hatchery right away. I should be just fine throwing down my Nexus right after my Forge. And there we go, finally sending out that probe for some scouting information. Stefano being a little wary here, just checking around the area. Gonna go ahead and do a third Nexus, or a third hatchery right away, and look at this. The probe gets in here just to find it in time. Tails, why you so smart?
Well, you know, he got the timing down absolutely perfect, though. And if he had showed up just a little bit earlier, wouldn't have seen that hatchery, but right on spot there. So Tails, you know, I was praising the timings of Stefano, and Tails was like, hey, give me a little love, Kibbles. Gets his timing down absolutely perfect as well. Arrives right when the hatchery is finished, and even is going to make this probe get home. Maybe survive. Yes, probe does live to see another day. My God, Tails so good too, man.
Really, yeah, it's great. These players are just so great. As we do have that third hatchery about a little over halfway done, on its way. No gas quite yet from Stefano, but should be seeing it pretty soon. Most likely right before that third hatchery finishes up. Most likely he'll be taking double gas, get that speed out as fast as possible. And again, just checking into the main. Tails does have his 2 gases. We'll be grabbing that third most likely pretty darn soon as the Cybernetics core does finish up. Should be starting that warp gate technology as usual, and actually looks like he's going to be a little aggressive here. Sending a Zealot. Oh my gosh, as I fling all over the place. A Zealot on the way. Just going to be grabbing on top of that Zelnaga. Might group up a couple of them and just try to run to the main and get some scouting information on his opponent. Seen a lot of Protoss players do that as of late.
Yeah, he's going for Zealot, Sentry. Oh, he's following this up with a Stargate, and I don't know. This is going to be a tough map to pull this off on because of the timing of Stefano's third. It was so quick. Typically, we see players go for this Stargate in order to, you know, it's on a lower level. You see it as like a perfect tool that can be utilized in many, many ways. You can go for a third denial. You can counter any roachling aggression. So it pretty much shuts that down entirely. But Shakuras Plateau, in and of itself, is a map that really shuts down roachling aggression, as the choke is just so narrow. So I'm wondering if he's going to use this Void Ray just generally. Oh, and this is so genius, actually. He's using the Zealots to go attempt to kill the Queen, and then wants to snipe the third after killing the Queen with the Void Ray. But this entire build really relies on killing this Queen, and if Tails doesn't pull this off, he's going to be pretty upset at himself. But either way, this Queen is going to be so low in hit points, the Void Ray should be able to easily deal with it.
Yeah, so true. And in fact, that creep spread actually isn't even close to that third quite yet, as the Void Ray does just now pop. It's on its way. There's no evolution chamber. There we go. Stefano finally throwing it down. That Zling in the middle of the map does see the Void Ray on its way, but again, it might potentially be able to do a lot of damage here. As you stated, that Queen pretty low on health. A second Queen being started on up. Will it be here in time? Well, only time will tell, as we do actually have the Void Ray just sitting down here at the bottom right corner. Second one. Nope, that's a probe. Second one about to pop out in a couple of seconds as the Void Ray starts to engage.
Oh my God, Stefano is so smart.
Oh, look at that. Queen already here.
Second Queen arrives and
transfuses.
Oh my God. Stefano is such a genius, man. Look, the Queen arrived just in time to provide some support there. Now he had the Queen. He actually canceled the Queen.
Yeah, he didn't need it.
Third, and he started making it back at the natural expansion, throwing down a Spore Crawler in each base right now. Stefano going to be absolutely fine against this Void Ray. So now the Void Ray really only serves any defensive purposes, making 3 Void Rays and some Zealots, though. Tails is really heavily investing into this early pressure. He needs to take out this third with all the focus that he's putting into it, because he's not going to be able to follow this up. The big thing here is not like, oh, you know, he's making these units or really investing or not making probes, because he's making probes behind this. The thing is that he's not going to be able to follow this up with any powerful timings. because he's investing so much money into this timing right now. And if he doesn't do damage here, Stefano is going to be able to mass expand, mass eco up behind this attack from Tails. So he has to do damage here.
Spine Collar just finishes up for Stefano as well. Has a nice number of roaches and some lings here, but this is a huge wall of zealots. A huge amount as they do run on in here and try and get a massive amount of damage done. Just taking those lings on, no problemo. Queen's coming up from the top, 12 o'clock position to do some damage on top of those Void Raids. Will micro that Queen back, but again, so much damage being done down here in the bottom right corner. A lot of these roaches are gonna have to go ahead and get micro so they can take on these zealots. Nice little spot of getting into a little bit of a concave here, so the roaches can do max amount of damage. It looks like they might clean up those zealots as we do have 3 Queens on top of the corner trying to take on the Void Raids. 1 Void Raid does fall. Will a second fall? It is in the red HP. Stefano trying to focus it down as a roach does get here to help out with these stalkers, as well as we do have 1 Queen finally exploding in the top left corner. More roaches here to help out with the ground army, and now we only have 1 lone Queen here against a couple of Void Raids, but again, Stefano doing a good job of holding off that ground army, while at the same time we did see Tails go ahead and throw up that third.
Tails needs to fall back with the Stalkers, as you said, throwing up the third behind this, but he's going to be a little upset at himself for not continuing Void Raid production throughout that attack. He ceased reinforcement there. I don't know if he felt like there were too many Queens, but now, you know, there's only 1 Queen out for Stefano on the entire map, and if he had had some additional Void Raids, really be able to lay on the heat right now, but Roaches coming in, Mondragon style, doesn't even care that there's Void Raids. He's running them in, going to be reinforcing with some additional lings, and not choosing to macro up behind this. May be able to do enough damage to Tails here to just end the match. 125 boot to 60, and as we were saying, Robin, you know, if that attack didn't work out for him, he's going to be in so much trouble, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Roaches killing probes right now, and a lot of roaches even slipping into the main. Tails in a really tough position right now, and it looks like Stefano may end up taking this series to 3-1.
Yeah, doing a lot of economic damage here. A total of 18 probes have been killed, and Tails GG's. Stefano now up 3-1. If he wins one more, he will be winning this show match. As you said, just putting on that aggression on that third, it really, it's kind of been the metagame as of late, grabbing that Void Ray, trying to take out that third. If you cancel that third, it helps you out so much in a PvZ, but Zerg players know about it now. They're really ready for it. They usually have an evolution chamber. They have a good timing for that, so they can throw up some spore claws if they scout that Void Ray, as well as they usually just get out a couple of queens. If that queen is not available for killing off Void Rays, if there is no Stargate pressure, they can keep getting that creep spread going. So Stefano just being ready for that, and it really showed there. So Tails gotta be losing that game. Stefano taking it 3-1, guys. We'll be going into game number 5, potentially the last game if Stefano can win it. Can Tails rally back? He won the first game, really hasn't had that much of momentum since then. Hopefully he can get a game off of Stefano, get the momentum on his side, and maybe take the series and make it an exciting 4-3.
I, as Tails, would feel really scared going air against Stefano, and I think Stefano is going to be sensing that. So no matter what spawning positions we see here on Metalopolis, I don't know, man. I'm doubting whether Tails is going to go with air again, and I think we may see Stefano be a little greedy in skipping anti-air and defense options. Though we didn't see him really invest too much into it last game until he saw the Void Ray. All he made was an extra queen. That's all he made.
Yeah, that's all I needed, really. Looks like everyone's ready to go, so we're going to be starting on it up. Going into game number 5. This could potentially be the last game. You Stefano fans out there, get excited. Tail fans, get out there, say, hey, I got support for you, Tails. You got this, man. You got this. And make sure you spell the got with a G-O-D. You got this. You got this. You got to say it gangster, man. For realsies. As we're loading up the game, MLG Metalopolis, which actually was taken out of the ladder pool a couple of seasons ago due to the mere fact that Zerg wanted too much. It was like 64% or something like that. Now back in the ladder. Can you say this map might be Zerg favored? Can you really say that?
Well, in cross position, Zerg certainly do have an advantageous win ratio, and I know Stefano loves this map. In these close by air positions, there's even an advantage to Zerg in the fact that as they expand to their third base, they're expanding away from their Protoss adversary.
Yeah.
And it just makes it that much easier to take a third in that situation. If the Protoss, wants to circumvent, go all the way around up this back ramp into your third, it's a long walk for them. And if they find themselves in a losing engagement, you make a wave of speedlings, you surround them, you kill them on their way home. So really tough map for Protoss to do any third denial on. We'll see what route we see Tails choose to go with. Looks like he's going to open with a forward fast expand. I wonder if we're going to see him go for that very safe forge into Cannon, into Nexus once again.